Hey, welcome to episode 10 of Adopted Geordies, brought to you by BetMGM. I'm Andy J, and I am sat with my person of interest, Mr. Asim Chowdhury. Here he is.
See what you did there,
mate. I was a
bit
bit scared watching you on telly the other night.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you.
I also watched it too late as well.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Start.
I should have watched you like when I was having soup for lunch or something.
Right. Yeah.
But I watched it last thing at night. And I felt for you, man. I
Thank
was
you.
like...
Well, they don't know. He said person of interest. It's a short film I did for Channel 4 where it's basically like Taxi Driver, and I play like this kind of taxi driver on the edge. But no, thanks, mate. Yeah,
mate, it was great and horrible as your mate. Do you know what? Like, if I just watched it before knowing you, I'd just been, damn, that's a good piece of television.
Well...
But like knowing you, I was like, Asim, are you okay, man?
Well, obviously, everyone knows me for comedy, so this was like a bit of a turn for me. And I was like trying to get, and Taxi Driver is my favorite film of all time. Nice. So like when I read the script, I was like, I love this. But like, I was trying to like figure out how can I like be this on edge guy, right, with sleep deprived. And then I watched this interview by James Gandolfini, Tony Soprano.
Love that.
And he said that if you got to do a scene where you're a bit agitated or dark, what would you do? And he would say I'd have a lack of sleep purposely. I'll sleep 2-3 hours. He said it's amazing what a lack of sleep can do to you.
Yeah.
Like everything can make you snap. Everything. And then he said also just put a little pebble in your shoe and walk around all day with that just digging into your foot. I didn't do that.
That's full on method, man.
I know, but no, I mean I wasn't doing method. I'm just a shit actor, so I needed that. I needed something real. But no, thank you very much, mate. How you been? It's been a while.
Mate, good. It's been so long. 7 matches have happened.
Yeah.
So I'm really sorry it's taken us so long. International break came. He's been a busy boy. We've had a fair bit on, but we're back. We're ready to chat. Mm-hmm. Shall we power through the 7 games? Because we're hoping that you're going to see this round about the Christmas time. What I call, well, I'm not the only one that called it this, but I believe it's referred to as the Merineum.
Merineum?
Yeah, that little bit in between Christmas and New Year.
Where time doesn't exist.
It's just that, yeah.
Yeah, well, you don't know what day it is. You're drunk every day.
There it is. You've pulled some crackers.
Yeah.
You've had some party poppers. Maybe Santa came, maybe he didn't. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe he's on the way.
Yeah.
Then there's a
coming.
New Year approaching.
Yeah.
All that stuff. The Merineum.
The Merineum. It's an interesting time, isn't it? I always thought it'd be a good film because imagine if we lived in the Merineum forever. It would be just this timeless, because time is just a concept, guys. Come on, grow up. But you know what I mean? Like, and it does. I feel like it's got a very bittersweet vibe as well about Christmas, because a lot of people love Christmas.
Yep.
A lot of people hate Christmas. Mm-hmm. It could bring up a lot of stuff for people, but also when you're working all year, it's an amazing time because this is our last day of work of the year for me and you. And it's like, I'm really looking forward to just having some time off and spending some time with family. But I know a lot of people don't like Christmas.
No.
It can be quite
because they don't want to be with their families or because there's pressure. Or
Yeah.
Also, it's one of those times when you reflect.
Yeah.
Like New Year's Eve. I mean, I always hate New Year's Eves, man, because there's
Overrated.
just this expectation to be like, oh, this is the best night ever. And then, here, what are you going to do next year? Oh, crap.
I think New Year's Eve is shit because I think the best New Year's Eves were when you were a teenager. And you would have house parties.
Yeah,
they were the best New Year's Eve. And then when you become an adult, it's this pressure. And what do? You book a table somewhere. You book a night. What do
you do?
I normally work with Corrupt FM. We're not doing anything this year, but normally we gig. I remember we try and bang them out. I remember one year we did like Manny, Birmingham, like we did 3 towns in one night. And you do one place for the countdown. And I just think because normally New Year's Eve is a waste of money. Because that's what I mean. They do New Year's Eve night. You get a table with dinner, and then it's a poker night, and then you're like
£16,000.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, if it's not a wicked house party with your mates, and you're 17, it's shit. I think New Year's Eve peaks. So yeah, New Year's Eve is very overrated, man. It's very overrated. And again, time isn't real. What year are we in, really? By what calendar?
Mate, this has got very multiversial. I'm feeling it. Measles and quarks. We can talk about those later as well, maybe.
Yeah, we'll get on that.
Yeah, we'll get on that.
Yeah.
So what are you... I mean, have you got plans? Are you having a chilled one then? Or?
I think I'm just having a chill one. I think it's just going to be me and the missus just chilling. I don't know. Like I said, New Year's Eve is just always a bit... I don't know. Yeah, overrated, man. What about you?
No, I'm with you, mate. Well, I'm lucky because my sister and her family are coming over. We try and spend time with family when we can. And yeah, we're going to hang out. We were at theirs last year. They're at ours this year.
Right. Okay.
So I'm gonna prepare a quiz.
Okay.
In fact, last year I was very lucky, mate. We have a family quiz, and whoever's hosting it is in charge of the gifts, right? And last year my sister was in charge. She's much better at these things than I am, and I won a pair of Steve Harper signed gloves. So I've got to try and top that somehow.
Such a random gift, but
I've got to try and top that. So maybe, I don't know, if I put a lot of hard work and effort into it, maybe I could get her maybe a video message from Asim Chowdhury.
Yeah.
That could work, man. How do I top a Steve Harper pair of gloves?
Do that.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, I'll take the Steve Harper gloves over that, to be honest. Yeah. But okay. Great. Shall we get into it? Because we've got a lot to cover. Where should we start?
Let's go through the games nice and quick, right? Okay. 7 matches. Can we do 7 matches in 7 minutes?
Yeah.
Possibly. Yeah. All right. Picking up after the international break, which was when we had our last set of shows out.
Yeah.
So here we go. First up, back from the international break, we were on a high. We went into the international break absolutely dominating, feeling like we were back. We had a home match against West Ham, who were flat rubbish at that point in time. West Ham went and beat us 2-0 at St James's Park.
Terrible.
Quietest I've heard St James's Park for a really long time, by the way. I wasn't there, but I was watching live and I listened in. And the atmosphere was almost as poor as what we were seeing on the field. I mean, we just looked terrible.
Yeah, we did. I'm trying to think back to it. But I remember I was very angry after that game, actually, because I feel like we played better than them in the first half. Was that right?
Yeah,
I'm really trying to remember. Right. It was a while back.
It was basically a Jared Bowen ran the show.
Oh, that was it. And who we always would love at the Toon, wouldn't we?
Yep.
We were talking about right wingers and Murphy, who's now just turned into Messi. Jacob Messi.
We'll get on to that.
But disappointing. And I think I said this to you before as well. I was like, I did definitely see some comments after the West Ham and the Brentford loss, after any of our losses, and the quick Eddie Howe out is just so quick. And I was like, I remember I saw one of the posts and it had thousands of likes, Eddie Howe out. And then you said it's
teenagers and Sunderland fans, man.
But that's what puts it into perspective for me, because I think that can't be the common, that can't be the thought that your average rational Newcastle fan thinks. Like I haven't met anyone who's like Eddie Howe out in real life.
Right. And it's we've been lucky enough to go to enough games now recently this season where you'd think you'd hear a sniff of it around the grounds. Now some people say, certain corners, which I've never been to, obviously, there's 2 or 3 voices going, ugh. Not what I've heard.
I've never heard
what I've seen.
Never heard it. So I think you're right there. It was a disappointing loss. But you know what?
When I see Howe out, man, I just assume you must be Sunderland fan. And look, everyone's entitled to their opinion, know. But who you're getting in, who's doing a better job with our squad? Anyway, look, that's by the by.
The positives heavily outweigh the negatives for Howe. I mean, and you know what? Sometimes he's proved me wrong. I've been like, why is he not playing this player? Or why are we stuck with this formation? Why is this player here? And then as time goes on, I go, right.
The only thing that...
They know more than us.
Of course they know... They don't just know more than us. They know leagues more than us.
And we know after we met him how flipping scientific each, decision is. Like, it was actually shocking. When we were like, okay, then you go back and you analyse again. Then you do this, then you do that. And it's like... It's way beyond our...
Oh, man. And he's also got James Bunce there, the head of performance, who's also watching training, who's doing all the metrics for the players' physicality.
I rate him,
everything
actually.
Else.
I've been reading about it.
Buncey?
Yeah. He's a big part of it, isn't he?
If you're appearing in the winners' photos at the end of a winning game, you're a part of the team, So all hail to you.
I would love to, one day, me and you be part of one of those winners' photos. I know we'll never be able to, because we have nothing to do with it. It's quite a John Terry vibes, but imagine just being there,
full kit.
Yeah, we got to Photoshop
full
ourselves.
Kit, or take ourselves off.
I'll take my top off.
Well, you could just point to the calves.
Just next to Big Joe. Yeah. Okay. All right. So disappointing loss.
So the West Ham was a real shame, and that felt like a really low moment actually.
So
then we go to Palace, and we're winning 1-0. Thanks to Mark Gahey own goal. We're winning 1-0 for the whole game, and then in extra time, as far as I can remember. And again, this is kind of vague memory, but extra time they then got an equaliser, which then immediately felt like a loss.
And wasn't it a Gahey assist?
Yes, it was. And it was a very nice ball actually from Mark Gahey. I suddenly saw why we were trying to get him so hard. It's like, there's a player there.
Yeah, I feel like we should have won that one. I mean, Palace are a good side, but I'll be honest with you, we should be beating Palace.
We should be beating Palace.
West Ham, I see West Ham, Newcastle similar levels, not in terms of league position, but just in terms of the size of the club and the talent at the club. Like, Villa are probably higher than us now, annoyingly, I feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but I've always seen, like, Tottenham, Newcastle, Villa. Tottenham fans will hate that, but I think that is true. We always batter them as well. So we should be beating Palace. I don't see us on the same level as Palace, so that was very disappointing. But also makes you think, even though Gahey's a great player, I kind of feel like we dodged that 70 million bullet. I think if we pay 70 million for Gahey, I just think we'd have no money left for anything.
Yeah.
He's a really good defender, but look, let's be real. We've already got really good defenders, and we've got the Botman coming back. You know what I mean?
do.
Batman coming back.
We do.
Yeah, it is what it is. Should have won that one. Disappointing.
That was a frustrating one, and you kind of feel like if we had just held on, because that was a match where we had no shots on target as well.
Yeah.
And that was, do you remember, at that point in time, that was what all the noise was. Well, hang on, we were abject against West Ham, and then we didn't register a single shot on target away to Crystal Palace. With, and all our big hitters were playing. It's not like we were resting Isak, and it's not like Gordon wasn't playing. So no one was shooting. We was just, anyway. So people were really frustrated. So then we had Liverpool at home on a Wednesday night under the lights. I was there, mate, in the East Stand. In fact, I did a little video wearing my Christmas jumper. Here's what I thought straight after the game, having not had a chance to check social media or see any replays or anything. This is what I thought. Whoa, right. It's Newcastle 3, Liverpool 3. I'm amazed I've got any voice left because the atmosphere here was incredible. I've been in the East Stand watching the game. Christmas jumper on, by the way. Oh, my word. I don't have words to describe what an end-to-end... I thought it was going to be a 4-3 thriller in the end. I don't know why the ref blew at the end. In fact, I've got some issues with the ref, to be quite honest with you. Many issues, including something in the first half, which I noticed, which drove me a little bit crazy, which was Van Dijk took Anthony Gordon out and right in the pen area. Not saying it was a pen, but Van Dijk should have at least had a yellow. Anyway, that's by the by. What a game. Best game of the season at St James's Park so far? For a neutral, absolutely. For us... I feel we should have won it. I really do. Liverpool are clinical. They're brilliant. They're precise. They're clever. They're cunning. Their guile on the ball is amazing. But I felt we had the beating of them, and we did. Twice. And then we didn't. And then they penned us back. So to finish 3-3, ultimately, we've got to be really satisfied. I need some digestion time. I'm swallowed by the emotion of this match. I absolutely loved it and hated it and loved it. I think... No, I'm not going to jinx it. I'm not going to say any more. This isn't going out for a couple of weeks anyway. I'll have had a chance to compose myself, but I just wanted to say that was mint. That was an amazing game, an exhausting game, a brilliant game, a game with everything. We have to keep backing the boys like that. The support was fantastic for virtually the whole game. St James's was rocking, not like against West Ham the other day. We were on fire as fans, and we were on fire on the pitch. Isak, Gordon, Fabian Schär. Assists, 2 assists for Bruno. Can we have more of those, please? Bruno was brilliant. Tonali was everywhere. Lewis Hall mostly kept Salah quiet, except for twice. But nonetheless, we come away with a point against Liverpool. If you'd offered me before the game, I'd have taken it. If you'd said it had been 3-3, and with moments to go, we were penned back 3-2 and we were going to finish 3-3, I'd have snapped your hand off. We could and should have won it. But I'll take it. So you saw there, man, I was referencing the referee as well. And by the way, I loved the game. The atmosphere was phenomenal, 3-3. I actually think we should have won it because I couldn't understand why the ref blew at the end when we were closing in on goal.
My mate, who's a Liverpool fan, Nix, big up Nix, one of my school friends, he's an annoying Liverpool fan, like a lot of Liverpool fans are.
But bless them, they're also...
There's so much success and history. And whenever Newcastle Liverpool play, we're always texting each other because we know the 4-3 trauma that we're normally at the end of. We could have won it, 100%. He said at the end, some of their players stopped playing.
I've heard that said. But
also we were in a very good, and also Nick Pope threw it out, and so his delivery was actually good.
It was nice when he was throwing.
Quite rare. Like I don't always see Nick Pope's delivery good. I think Dubravka's delivery is better than Popey's. Yeah, Popey's better than him. I was just looking quite good at
the moment. The ref. He shouldn't have blown that early.
No.
Any other game, that wouldn't have happened. There would have been at least another minute of extra time because of faffing around and various bits and pieces. I felt the wind was in ourselves as well, mate. I really felt like we were going to be finally a 4-3 thriller, which had the right result for us. I was so excited for it, but nonetheless,
I think we were brilliant.
Yeah.
We were playing. They are the best team in the world.
Yeah.
I even watched them yesterday as well. Salah is. Again, it's like he's in his second prime.
Yeah.
Which is insane. And remember I made that outrageous claim that he'll come to Newcastle.
Yeah.
I still feel
doubling
like
down.
I don't know why. I just feel like something like if Newcastle wanted to make a statement, right, and be like, you know what, we're going to spend all our money,
everything
on getting Salah over in January. No, I'm joking, not January.
I said to you January.
No,
he's not coming.
No, he's not coming. But he is so brilliant. And, you know, I mean, just the team is amazing. But I thought we were amazing. We could have won it. It could have been a 4-3 either way. I'll be honest.
I loved it, mate. I loved it.
And it reminds me of why I love football, why I love Newcastle, why I love that fixture.
Yeah.
Newcastle-Liverpool, for me, is like the classic. It's better than most derbies. Like, I know we saw that Man City, Man United derby the other day, which was amazing. Yeah, Liverpool, Everton, great. Arsenal, Tottenham, great. There's something about Newcastle, Liverpool.
Yeah, man.
There's something about, you know,
history.
even though it's traumatic watching Keegan, you know that.
Yeah.
You remember when it's
like
it's heartbreaking, but oh my God, what a fixture. That was the turning point in our season, I thought, actually.
Well, right.
Yeah.
I felt that as well. Okay. So, and then imagine how I feel when 3 days later I went to Brentford. Went to the game. I was with the home fans, which is tough, man. Credit to the Brentford home fans.
Yeah,
they
love them.
Really
Obviously,
sound.
my local, you know, down the road from me.
It's
love
a lovely
them.
little venue. What, 17,000? It's a new stadium. The atmosphere is really lovely in there. I was in the trial safe standing area, right behind the goal. In fact, I managed to get a cheeky slow-mo of Isak's goal because that was the way I was hiding my kind of... Because I thought we'd win that game, right? Even though their home form is so good. I thought we'd win it. So instead of being, yay, I thought I'll get my phone out every time there's... Because I'm not a phone kind of guy at a game. But I thought that's the way I do it to stop my reaction. I'll try and capture every goal, right? I thought because I had such a good shot of it. But, oh dear. Well, in fact, look,
they play well.
Half-time I was excited. Here's a photo of me at half-time, feeling like we were on it 2-2. I felt like we were on it. Here's a photo of me at full-time. Oh, man, dishevelled.
I can't see it, but I can visualise it.
Dishevelled and mortified.
No, I know, man. I was down the road, obviously, watching at home with the missus, and... Look, I'm not going to lie. Like, I obviously love Brentford. You know, I'm a West London boy. I grew up watching them and going to their old stadium. But I've always been, you know, always been Newcastle United. But I love Brentford. So I can never be too pissed off when Brentford beat us. Because, first of all, it never happens. Right, let's be honest. I think that's the first time they've beaten us in... Like since 1930, ridiculous. Yeah. So I love Brentford, and you know what? They fully deserve to win.
They were really good, and we weren't. That's the other thing.
And it was definitely like, even though I think, you know, the 3-3 was a turning point. Then it was like straight after that, it was like, oh, hold on a minute. Even though
Eddie. This is the only question I had about, you know, we don't question Eddie because we've met him. We think he's a brilliant, etc. But he dropped Gordon and Tonali, from the starting lineup.
Yeah.
Both of whom were amazing against Liverpool.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of like, what? We've just found Tonali's position, right? Yeah. Why is he not starting?
Yeah.
I could not understand that. I was really, and I still don't understand it, to be honest.
You know, well, don't worry, we've got enough for Brentford. You know, maybe it was
but Brentford is so good at home, and everyone knows that.
Well, they've got the best home
apart
record.
From obviously Forest the other day. Shown how
who
to do
are
it.
insane at the moment. But yeah, okay, look, fair enough. We take that.
Well, this is what I thought. I recorded a little thing walking out of the stadium, left all the Brentford fans to party, and I tell you what, they know how to do it. The DJ turns it on after the players leave, and they were having a lovely time. But this was my post-match reactions again, having not seen any social media. A slightly different vibe to what I thought after Liverpool. Not to say we were poor. We were very exposed at times. We had some decent attacking threat. I mean, listen, this is a mile ahead of where we were against West Ham and where we were against Crystal Palace. But we've still lost the game. We go again. We roll the dice and we see what happens. But I feel pretty deflated because I've watched a brilliant game of football where we were on the wrong side of it. We had chances. We should have finished them. Isak, when he was through on the keeper, is the key one that stands out to me. Bruno had a big chance as well that didn't fall for him. I feel like we hit the post as well. My memory's a little bit frazzled at this point because that was just very up and down. Ultimately, though, 1 point from the last 2 games. At least we're scoring again. But I feel like there's a lot more work than we need to do now. Big December. Let's kick on. So that was what I considered to be the big loss. You say Liverpool was the turning point. I think that Brentford match was a slap round everyone's faces.
Well, yeah. So if Liverpool was the turning point, the Brentford game was another wake-up call. Yeah. Like, I know you just had a classic with Liverpool when we nearly beat them, but you've lost to Brentford 4-2. You know what I mean? Like, and quite shocking. You know, I mean, some of the defending. I mean, that one ball that just went straight through the middle. Do you remember that? Shearer was fuming on Match of the Day.
So, man. And, well, I mean, Harvey Barnes giving them the ball.
Yeah.
When it was, anyway, it's one of those I could...
Wake up call. Slap across the face, 100%. And then we went on and we smashed Leicester.
That was a game.
I love that.
That was a great game.
mean,
4-0, baby.
And I'll say this now. Clip it if you want. Lewis Hall is the best left back in the world.
Have it.
Right? I honestly think, and obviously that's an exaggeration, but just clip the bit before and play it out of context. But give him a couple of years, he will. I mean, he's England's number one left back, obviously.
Yeah.
Give him a couple of years, that boy will be the best left back in the world.
He's very good.
Unbelievable.
He's very good. I went to Wembley to watch him start for England and Tino Livramento and Anthony Gordon, and he was the one that looked them. I know Gordon scored and had that lovely tribute to the little girl. That was a really lovely moment
Gordon.
For England. I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But Lewis Hall, man, he looked so assured and so confident, and he's improving game after game. He really was. He was superb. I have to point out. Is it your dad, Hamza Chowdhury? He was playing for Leicester. Love his hair, mate.
Well, so the Chowdhury name is a very, very popular name. It's like the Asian equivalent of Smith. It's so common. But there's a spelling differentiation. It's Chowdhury.
It's just listening to the commentator.
I know. Well, the good thing about Hamza Chowdhury is that whenever I create a player on FIFA, I can now have him, because normally being, a child of an immigrant, you don't really have foreign names. You don't have the option, right? But now I can actually make myself, and I've got the, Chowdhury.
And he's got great hair.
He's got great hair. Yeah. I think he's half Bengali, half black. I'm not sure what his mix is.
Okay.
But yeah, he's but the way he spells his name is wrong. Let me just say that. There's no W in Chowdhury, all right? That goes to you as well, Paul Chowdhury. There's no W, all right? Chaudhry. Thank you very much.
Nice. I mean, that's how I've written it in our script because it seems more fun.
Yeah.
But because I wanted to make the gag about him being your dad. But he actually, I felt like he was useful for us because he didn't want to play any forward passes at all for Leicester. And I was like, and I think it's his first start in the Premier League for quite a long time.
Yeah,
it kind of showed. So he made it easy for us to boss the midfield, but we did what we had to do. And actually, we could have finished the game maybe 6-0.
Yeah, we were on fire.
That good.
And obviously, 2 for Murphy.
Yeah,
I mean, we've spoken about this, but if you ever ask any Newcastle fan what we need, they'd always say backup centre back and a right wing.
Yeah,
and Murphy's been there all along. I mean, Miggy just can't get a sniff. I don't know what's happened with Miggy. I mean, his form is really dipped. And how do we get Miggy back to that kind of purple patch that he had? I don't know if he peaked there, but Murphy literally turned into Messi.
Yeah,
I mean, last few games.
I mean, the trouble is, right?
He's better than Messi, of course. I mean, that's silly for me to say. He's way
Messi's
better
old
than Messi.
now.
Messi's old now. Yeah, he's playing in a American league. I mean,
the trouble with Murphy, though, right? And I love him, and what he's done in the last 3 games in particular. This purple patch with the goals and the assists are phenomenal, but he still has 15-minute moments in games.
He gives it away.
Where he's like, hang on, what have you done? He still has these moments. And I'm not saying there's a better right winger at the club right now.
Yeah, well, there isn't.
He's in the right place. Yeah. He deserves to be starting.
Because he is a right winger as well. That's the thing. Like, him and Miggy are true right wingers.
Yeah.
Gordon's not a right winger, even though he can play there, and he probably did one of the best crosses.
It was great.
Fantastic. Barnes is not a right winger, definitely not. Because Barnes' biggest thing is cutting in. We know that. So is Gordon's, but Gordon's, I think, is a bit more flex. He is the best right winger at a club, and he is producing. I think he's already got. This is skipping forward a couple of games, but I think he's got the assist of the season with that back heel to Isak. Filth. That should have been. That was porn.
Yeah, man.
That should have been with a not safe for work warning, because that was insane.
You know how we were going to do 7 games in 7 minutes.
Yeah,
we're like 7 games in 27 minutes.
Right. Okay. Let's crack on then. Okay. Look, amazing.
Carabao Cup, Brentford.
Smashed them.
See them again at St James's Park. It's a different story.
Tonali. Oh my
Tonali.
God.
Right. Tonali's been nominated for Player of the Match or Player of the Month even in the Carabao Cup for his performance there. His 2 goals were sensational.
Well, this is the thing that I love Bruno. But Bruno's passing is world class. Absolutely, his dribbling,
press resistance,
world class. Yeah, I mean, his work rate is world class. His pretty much everything, but his shooting is not great. Sometimes I think it's in slow motion when I'm like, he can do everything, but when he shoots, it's like it does look like in slow motion, and it frustrates me because if he had that, he'd be completely unstoppable. He'd be at he wouldn't be at Newcastle, put it that way. He'd be at Real Madrid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Tonali has got great shooting. Great, like you remember, you said this. He's great in the air as well. Great delivery, right foot, left foot, first touch. I mean, he is just unbelievable.
Mate, I have got to say, watching him play now, this is the player we signed. You know, this is the player. Do you know? This is the other thing that drives me crazy about social media, and it's why I spend so little time on it. Is I even saw somebody kind of saying, "Oh, Eddie doesn't know the best role for Tonali. He didn't even watch him before signing him." What a load of nonsense! When we signed him, did you see? Eddie was like, "Oh, I fell in love watching him when he did this, and this." Eddie knows the player for crying out loud, well ahead of him coming in. He was a big part of getting him to the club. But we are now seeing what we signed, having him sit that slightly deeper role. Putting Bruno slightly further forward on the right. That's the role, right? That's the role we signed Bruno for. Because if you remember, we used to have John Joe Shelvey as our kind of quarterback, right? Which meant Bruno, when he first arrived at the club, when he was introduced slowly, was playing in that more advanced role and was scoring goals for us. Well, look what's happened. Bruno goes back into that role and he's scoring goals again. And it's lovely to see. I know you're saying he doesn't have the best shot, but he's scored a couple of headers. He's getting in the right places.
He's always his positioning's always great, and he's a very even though he's essentially he is more of a defensive player. That's what he is. You know, I mean, when we signed him, that's what you think. But he's so good at attacking. It's criminal to leave him out. And the great thing about Tonali, because he's got better shooting than Bruno, really you want your deep lying midfielder to have a better shot. Yeah. Because you get that ball that trickles out, and who do you want on the back of it?
Tonali.
Well, that's where Scholes would not be a defensive midfielder, but remember Scholes used to sit back a little bit. Yeah. He used to wait, and then you don't want anyone else but someone like Scholes. And Tonali's technique on that one, that was that kind of half volley.
Oh man!
Oh my god! And the way he just hits it, and then obviously his second goal as well. It's just like he's unbelievable. And I heard rumours that he wants to go back to Italy. You know, it's every day you see on Twitter. It's not happening. He said himself that he wants to repay Newcastle for how loyal we were and stood by him, which I think we did. You know, after having that big ban for, what happened.
10 months out.
His
agents put that right as well, mate. His agent came straight out and said, no, he's very happy where he is.
He's so happy where he is. You can just see it on him, and you can see everyone loves him. Yeah. And I've heard, because I know his English is getting better and better, but I've heard from around that he's a favourite in the dressing room as well. Yeah. People love him and protect him and were there for him. Yeah. I think it's because, if you're training with someone, you know how good someone is. You almost feel protective over them, and they're not from this country, they're young, all this, bit of controversy around them, a lot of, they protect him. And I think as well, he's just, he's world class.
He's world class.
He is world class. So if he's not world class now, I think he will be, but I think he already is. Unbelievable player.
I think him and Bruno, anyone that goes, oh, he's better than Bruno, do you know what? We are lucky to have the two of them. Yeah. The two of them together are going to bring out the best in each other. Now they're working out how each other plays. Now they've changed that shift and dynamic. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they pivot and change as well, which is very clever, which means our third midfielder always, it could be Big Joe, it could be Joe Willock. I'm excited. It could be Sean's. Yeah. I'm excited for when it's Lewis Miley. Actually, give it 5-10 games. It might be Miley when he's back, because he looked really good. I know it was only 10 minutes against the well-beaten side, but he suddenly looked good again when he came back in, and I think we've forgotten how good he is because of the way we had to use him last season.
Face of a child, body of a beast. Yeah, he's massive, isn't he?
He's put a shift in.
He looks 5 years old in the face. Yeah. Insane.
He's put a shift in. So that brings us on to the most... Oh, well, actually, hang on. We're talking about this. Newcastle beat Brentford, which actually puts us in the semi-finals.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Taking on Arsenal. Two-legged semi. I mean, you love a semi, Asim. It's one of your favourite things.
Yeah, love a semi. Normally, I'm more kind of a quarter guy.
Are you?
When it's a bit cold. No, I'm joking. Love a semi. It's going to be hard though, because Arsenal, I know we can beat Arsenal. We've beaten them quite a few times recently. Yeah. But Arsenal are looking scary. I mean,
second leg at St James's Park though, mate. We've already beaten them there.
Yeah, listen, of course we've got a chance, but I'm scared. Put it that way. I'm a bit scared of Arsenal.
Well, we've no in the first leg at theirs. We've no Bruno and we've no Fab, because they're both suspended.
Suspension, right? Yeah.
We might have Botman back in. Right, and who knows? Maybe Miley will be up to speed to take Bruno's place for them. And we just if we can basically contain them and keep it. Let's say we can come out with a 0-0 in the first leg. Yeah. And then get them back to St James's.
Oh, then we're in it.
I don't want to be in any way undervaluing Arsenal. I appreciate they're an amazing side. But if
we can beat
it's the magic of the cup, right?
They're not like our, they're not like our kryptonite. We've beaten them before.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that. It's just that I think it's all about form. And I know we're on great form, but Arsenal, I mean, they're just scoring goals for fun as well. And then they've got some of their players who don't play that well, banging goals like Jesus. You know, he's coming in. I just think it's a scary team. It's a scary when I know Saka's out, right? I don't know how long he's out for.
Not
but
sure,
you know, Odegaard and all that. I mean, but listen, we've always got a chance. It would be so nice to be in another final. You know, I think, you know, if any club deserves a bit of silverware, it's us.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's been so long, and it will be so good for Howe and the morale of the team. I mean, it would be amazing.
Well, here's my question to you, man. And again, we've still got another game to bring up, but let's just go there while we're here. Getting into the semis now, has that saved the season? Is that a season-saving performance result? What's your feeling on it?
No, I don't think it's a season-saving thing, because I actually think, even though we've been a bit up and down, I think you have to look at not just results, you have to look at form of players. And I think if you actually look at the team, we've actually got Tonali, who's on insane form, Murphy, who's having a purple patch,
Isak banging them in for fun.
Isak is just one of the best strikers in the world, if not the best, I would say. Like, really think about it. He's better than Haaland right now.
In the Premier League, yeah.
Well, who else is better than him right now? I mean, Mbappe.
Mbappe's.
Yeah, but is his form better than? Is he scoring better goals than his? I mean, okay, Salah is the best player in the world right now. Top goals, top assists in the Premier League. I mean, that says everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
says everything.
Yeah, but I would say just behind him would be Isak. I mean, I think he's the amount of goals he's scoring, right foot, left foot, magical goals, headers, pens. I mean, name it. He's dribbling, he's creating, he's assisting. He's insane. Like, and I just hope we get to keep him in the summer, because I know there's going to be so much hype around him, and he probably will. You know, if Salah has a dip in form, I can only see Isak really being top scorer of the league. I can't see Haaland doing it, because
it would be so amazing if he was, wouldn't it?
But it would be, but it would also be dangerous for us, because then everyone's going to be like,
oh yeah, but everyone's already that. Everyone's already like that, man.
You think so?
Yeah, but who can afford him right now? He's more than 150 mil. You know, he's punchy money, and everyone, like the links that we hear endlessly are Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal can afford him, not without selling a hefty chunk of very good players.
I hope not, because it would be heartbreaking to see him go.
I just think to myself, he's really happy.
Yeah.
He's never uttered a bad word about the club.
No.
And he has a contract that lasts at least another 4 years.
Yeah.
Right? So let's not be too panicky and too knee-jerk.
Yeah.
We might have to sell some players for PSL reasons and so on, but if we can protect Isak, Bruno and Tonali, you know, and Gordon, if we can protect them...
Miggy. Shouldn't laugh about that.
You want to add in Murphy to that as well? Probably.
Yeah, well, no, Murphy's 80 million now.
Tell you what, Murphy's added some value. I mean,
you're not getting anywhere near Murphy. We want 80 million, mate.
Yeah.
We want 80. I'll tell you what, we'll do a swap for Saka. Plus 80 mil.
There you go. We'll take an injured Saka.
We'll take an injured Saka. No, look, I hope you're right. But you know what? It's dangerous. And, you know, the other day I was at the pub, and this guy said to me, he went, Isak, he's too good for Newcastle, isn't he? And that annoys me when people say that, because I get what they're saying. It's like a backhanded compliment, isn't it? It's like,
I just see that as an insult, actually.
Well,
no, he's not. We unearthed him. We paid 60-something million
he's
quid
our record
for
transfer.
him. You know, our scouting department did their job, convinced him to come in.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie has trained him. Listen, he wasn't the finished article. Eddie has worked on him and made him this unbelievable player.
Yeah.
Credit where it's due. That is down to our team, our squad.
And also, like Isak was, you know, even though he's a centre forward, I know, but he would play a lot on the left wing, especially for his old club. And obviously, he's got that Henry style, and obviously, you know, number 14 is obviously his idol.
Yeah.
But he is now a proper centre forward.
Yeah.
Like, hold up the play, link play, headers, right foot, left foot, everything. So you got to give credit to Eddie Howe for that as well. You know, they've obviously trained him in a way to make him the best. I think the best centre forward in the Premier League.
I love that.
I would say that. I think he's better than Haaland at the moment. I think in terms of form, I think he's better than Haaland. Like, I think
right here, right now.
He can do more than Haaland. Put it that way. Yeah. I don't see Haaland dribbling past 5-6 players and then assisting someone.
That's partly because Haaland doesn't need to, because he just batters through them.
But he can't, though, as well. But he can't. But what I'm saying is his dribbling is nowhere near Isak's.
Yeah.
Like, nowhere near. Yeah, shooting's better. Finishing's better than Isak, I think, even though Isak's will be
he's
high.
He's missed a few sitters, though. When Isak thinks about it, sometimes it goes wrong. Yeah. You know, it's a bit like Scholler in that sense. Don't think.
How many has Haaland missed as well?
Yeah, true.
He misses a lot.
Yeah.
He just scores a lot because he's a fucking robot.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, there's our little Scandi... trying to put them against each other. Yeah, I just hope we keep him, mate.
Me too, man. I think we will. I think I'm just going to be optimistic. You know, I'm just going to let us think. Do you know what? Let's not rock the boat.
Yeah.
You know, we're not selling him in Jan. I hope.
Yeah.
You know, and if we can have a good season, you know, we have a cup run. We could still finish top 5. You know, we could still finish top 5.
And I wouldn't have said that. You know, like a month ago.
Yeah.
I would have been like, Europe would be amazing.
Yeah.
Any Europe. You know what I mean? Just because we missed out last year.
Well, where are we? 2 points off top 5 at this point?
We're 1 point beneath City, which isn't saying much.
Well, no, not
because
at the
they're
moment.
shit.
Yeah, that's not the thing.
They're shit right now, all right, City fans, all right? Come on. You've run the game for 15 years now. Come on, let someone else have a go.
That was the only thing I enjoyed on social media. You know, I talk about how I don't love it, but I did see something that did make me laugh.
Go on.
Which is, it was one of these fake official statements that said that the Manchester City club shop is going to be staying open for extended hours during the festive period for all of the fans returning their kit who are going back to supporting their usual teams. Which
I've seen some amazing Pep TikToks where, like, you know, obviously he's kind of on edge at the moment.
Yeah.
But you know, his spitting thing is always made me. You know, he's always doing that.
I haven't noticed that.
You ever know? Whenever you watch him, he's doing.
Oh, that's gross.
He's doing that. That's why he had the nose thing.
Ay.
And then I saw this one TikTok where it was like, they asked him a question. He's going, "How are you feeling? More than you believe. six Premier League titles. More than you believe." Spitting.
Oh, my
it's weird.
word.
I spat on the mic there a little bit. Sorry. But yeah, see.
They'll start cooking again.
Yeah, they will, annoyingly. That's why we're having a little moment now.
Yeah, it's nice to laugh, but they'll
have the last laugh.
They will have the last laugh because they're that good.
Yeah.
Ipswich versus Newcastle, Portman Road, a big away test for us.
That's
Even
right.
though they hadn't won a game at home, they were still looking good at home. And, of course, they had their best player who was out. So things were stacked kind of in our favour, but you still have to do it. A 1-0 would have been fine. We ended 4-0, which was fantastic. First goal in 26 seconds.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Isak hat-trick. What a game.
What a game. I think it was the first hat-trick for a Newcastle player for a long time, right?
Since 2019.
2019.
Jose Perez against Southampton.
Wow.
At St James's Park. I think it's the first away hat-trick for a Newcastle player for a lot longer than that.
Shearer, probably.
I think it's Kevin Nolan, actually.
Really?
I think.
Wow.
But we're going a long way back, you know?
It's great.
Unbelievable scenes.
Unbelievable. Obviously, we should be beating Ipswich. Murphy, assist of the season for me.
The back heel was amazing.
Assist of the season. Unbelievable performance. Isak, obviously, unbelievable. Again, I mean, what can you say? It was great to watch. I think it's the first time in a long time as a Newcastle fan it's been 2 stress-free games.
Yes. It's been an amazing week.
Brentford,
3
Ipswich.
three wins in a week. Oh.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you, Asim.
Yeah.
Isak, at the end, he was clutching, obviously, man of the match, he was clutching the ball because he gets to keep it, scores his hat-trick. Wasn't necessarily man of the match, actually. I would say Tonali and Bruno both looked on fire.
Murphy as well, yeah.
And Murphy was great too and scored a lovely goal.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't give enough credit to Murphy, I think. You're his hype boy, rightly so.
Yeah.
If it was you, right? If, let's say, different worlds, you're somehow playing for Newcastle United in that team. Yeah, you're not an actor. You're a footballer. You play for Newcastle United. You were right back that game. Isak brings the ball over to you. People have signed it. Little messages. What do you write on there?
Don't you fucking dare go to Arsenal, you prick. In a really threatening manner. And like some evil eyes kind of watching him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Loyalty over everything. And then maybe like a horse's head, Godfather kind of.
I mean, that's
tiny
writing.
Tiny writing. But what are you writing? Nothing.
Yeah. Shut up and you'll read it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you draw a horse? No. Wow. I mean, I saw actually Murphy wrote long body.
Did he?
Someone zoomed in on the picture of the ball, and he apparently calls him long body, which I think that makes sense.
Glorious.
He's got a long body.
It does.
I'd probably write something funny. He's amazing, but like I said, I am a bit scared of him going because I think he's so good, and I think, like I said, I don't think he's too good for Newcastle, like that guy at the pub said. But I think there's something. Look, why is he wearing number 14? Okay, why does he open up his body like that and shoots like Henry? Like, it's obvious that he probably doesn't say it, But it's obvious that his idol is Thierry Henry.
Ginola. Oh.
Yeah, it could be Ginola. Yeah, they could both do it. Left wing, 14,
both
open
14.
up the body.
Yeah.
But like, I'm a bit, that's the only thing that I always think, God, he's like an Henry regen.
Yeah, so you think,
And I think for him to complete his move, and also I know it's annoying, and you hear that Gabby Agbonlahor, whatever his name is, I don't like him because he always talks shit about Newcastle. But he said, why would you want to play in Newcastle? Why would you want to live in Newcastle? Remember he said that?
Yeah, Troy Deeney's done the same thing.
Yeah, and he said, you'd go to Brentford and live in London before you go to stay in Newcastle. And that really pissed me off.
Well, that's people that haven't been to the North East, mate. That's,
yeah.
You go up there and you walk around those streets, or you go and see the beauty. I mean, goodness me, the North East is the best part of England, in my opinion. There's the most stunning things to do, and the scenery is amazing, beautiful. And the people are fantastic. Hang out there for a week and then tell me you
and
don't
that's why I
there.
think, Tonali and Isak, they're happy there because it's a beautiful place to live. But also I think Isak's got this, you know what these Swedish and Norwegian boys are like. They're obsessed with London culture. Yeah. That's why, Isak's chats like he's from Hounslow.
Yeah.
Yeah, bruv, you're right, because they all watch Top Boy and they're into like grime and drill. They love London culture, and don't get me wrong, it's cool. You know what I mean? London is cool. Growing up, London wasn't cool for me. We used to always copy the Americans, and now we've got our own culture. So there's that as well, which makes me think, I could see Isak playing at Arsenal, being a London, loving London, being in that culture and all that. That's what scares me.
I understand that, but
maybe I'm being paranoid.
Mate, just enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
He's ours right now. Technically, we can hold him to a 4-year contract still, so let's just
enjoy the ride. You're right.
While he's ours, let's not worry too much about who else he could be. He's ours. He's enjoying his life. He's walking his dogs. He's in the area.
Yeah.
He's having a good time.
You're right. I'm being negative.
Plus, also, you're forgetting we've had that privileged moment of being at the training ground, and I've seen him having a right old giggle.
Yeah.
With Cher and Kraft, and he's loving his stuff. We've seen behind the scenes that little peek behind the curtain. He looked really happy, man. That did not look, and that was when he was out injured.
No, I don't think it's really a question about him. I think he's definitely happy here. I just think it's like, when people dangle stuff at you, and that
grass is always greener, mate.
Yeah.
Anyway, got to enjoy where we are. Right,
enjoy where we are. Yeah.
From our last 10 games, we have won 6, drawn 2, lost 2. We've beaten Chelsea, Arsenal, Forest. We've drawn with Liverpool. We're in the semi-final of a cup. We're 2 points off of 5th. We've scored, I believe, 26 goals now. We're up to 8th.
Wow.
26 points. Bournemouth sit on 5th in 28. That's not bad, man.
Not bad. Very good.
If you'd listen, when we walked out of St James's Park at the end of the match against Brighton, and when we were watching Isak, who wasn't on fire, who hadn't hit form yet, and I said to you, well, listen, in a few games' time, these are going to be the stats. You wouldn't have believed me.
No. Yeah,
that's
right.
not how we weren't cohesive.
We look cohesive, and I think we've got our midfield is sorted now. It's just about, when Big Joe comes back, my obviously preferred thing is Big Joe.
Yeah.
Big Joe, Bruno, Tonali, for me, that's insane midfield. Left wing, we still have a Gordon, Barnes thing there, and then obviously right wing is Murphy and Miggy sub now and again. And then obviously striker Bruno, Isak. So I think we've figured out the team. We've got the balance. A lot of people are saying that word, balance.
Yep.
Right, and I think that's what it is. Tonali is our number 6. He sits there, but he comes forward quite a lot as well. And then,
he does.
His shooting is so good. Whenever that ball's there now, everyone's going to be screaming shoot. We've seen what he can do, and volleys as well, and headers. I mean, he's brilliant. But I'm very, very happy with this. The half. What did you call it? The half-term report.
Yeah, we're not quite there. We're 17 games in, but it's. Yeah. I mean, look, we're going to jump ahead. I had quite a lot planned, but we've taken so long to just do the match roundups.
There's a lot to catch up.
There's lots to catch up. But I'll tell you, my one fear right now for this team, right, and you can tell me if I'm wrong here and if I'm overthinking, because I've just told you to enjoy the ride with Isak. Yeah. But my one fear is an Isak injury. If he's out injured, I don't like the way we haven't got Callum Wilson because he's mate. That's the thing.
My boy
that's
Ossie.
The thing. You love Ossie, and I still don't see it, and I want to see it. He had 20 minutes at the end of a game the other day and just didn't look anywhere near ready.
Yeah.
In my opinion, and I know there's a lot of people online that are very much Team Asim and think Ossie's the next big thing.
No,
and
I don't think
I hope that's the case, man.
I don't think he's the next big thing. I just think for me, for a striker, what I like is when they get the ball, they can hold it up and turn and shoot. That for me is like R9 was, R9 could do that. So I'm not saying Oscar's R9.
No. I like what you're saying.
I like that ability of a striker, like Shearer used to do it. Shearer, hold them off, turn, shoot. Just don't overthink it. You know what I mean? And I like that about Osler, but yeah, of course he hasn't produced anything yet.
You say that, and what I like in a striker is goals.
Yeah. No, of course, but without shooting, you can't score. So I think, I just think he needs more time. I still back him, but I would also buy a replacement in January.
The thing. I think Ossie's going to get time, and I hope he comes good over time. Lewis Hall style.
I'd buy a proven, like a great backup, like a Chris Wood. No, I'm being serious.
No, but he's so annoying. So well.
He's on fire now. Well. If we kept him at the club, I'm saying, it's someone like that, someone who doesn't have ego, is proven. You could, if God forbid, Isak gets injured. Obviously, Wilson's injured again. Like Osler's not proven. You bring on Wood. You play Wood. He will bag you the goals that you need.
Would.
You know,
he would. Because I don't think Gordon is suited to that striker role.
He can play it. He can play it, but he's so much better on the wing. Yes. Like he's such a good winger. Like and I know he can play up front. He's not. That's not his best position.
Let's get some predictions from
you,
right, and then we're going to do our half-term report. Okay, the next game, as we record this, people might have already this might have already played out. Hopefully, you'll have seen this beforehand. Either way, Merry Christmas, Merry Festives, whatever applies. But then our next game, Aston Villa. Then we're away to Manchester United, and then very early January, 4th of Jan, I think, we're away to Spurs. So
we'll spank them.
How many points we're getting from the next 3?
I think we'll get 7.
You do? You think 2 wins and a draw?
I think we'll draw against Villa. I think Villa are
You think you draw against Villa at St James's?
Yeah. Okay. I think they're on fire.
Yep.
I do think they're on fire. I think we can beat them, but Tielemans is... At the moment, his passing is the best in the league.
He's doing very well. For a player that's not not blessed with pace.
No, but he doesn't need to because he's playing on that more. So they've pushed him up a little bit now. So he doesn't need to do all that running. So they pushed him up and he can just, creatively, he's insanely good.
Yeah.
And he's also got insane shooting. Like his shooting is incredible.
Yeah.
So draw, I think we'll beat Man United and Tottenham. I know but I just think they're both clubs that are
think we beat Man United?
Yeah, I think Man United are on the ropes.
Both of them away.
Yes.
Love that.
Tottenham, we could bag 4 or 5 against Tottenham. The way they're leaking goals at the moment, mate. And Man United are just they're so in a kind of. They're all over the place at the moment.
Mate, if we get
the whole Rashford stuff that's going on. They just lost to. Was it 3-0?
Yeah.
Was it to Bournemouth? At home, that's bad.
It's a fair point.
That's bad. I think we'll spank them both. Villa, I see a hard game. We could potentially even lose that at home. I hope not. But I do think Villa are pretty dangerous right now.
They are dangerous.
That confidence of spanking Man City as well. That's...
but then everyone's doing it,
everyone's having a go at City right now. It's a free punch, isn't it? It's that's what I think. What do you think?
I'm not sure, man. I've got a sneaky hunch that we beat Villa at St James's Park.
Could happen.
I hear what you're saying, and if you said to me, listen, it's going to be an amazing 2-2, happy days. It's just, there's something about Boxing Day. I've always gone to, I'm not going this season because I couldn't get tickets, but I've always gone to the when it's been a home fixture, me and the fam have always gone, and it's always brilliant. The Boxing Day atmosphere at St James's is absolutely sensational. Yeah. We haven't always won, but it's always been a great atmosphere. So I just feel like, because we're riding a crest of a wave, I think we could get something out of that.
Yeah.
Man United, I hope, and I'm aligned with you.
Yeah, I think we
And then Spurs, the thing is, they've got a couple of really easy games before us. So they've got a chance to rebuild from looking terrible a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure about the Spurs match.
I just think historically we beat Spurs a lot.
Yeah, but usually at St James's.
Usually at St James's, you're right. But I think we'll beat Spurs. I think they're a bit all over the place. But they're unpredictable. They could spank us.
Yeah.
That's what I mean with Spurs right now.
Yeah. Man
United, I think their confidence is low. So I think we'll have a go at Man U and do them. But yeah, Tottenham, it is unpredictable. But I do know that we will score. But, we'll score a few against them.
I love your optimism, man. If we get 7 from those 3, that's really great.
Yeah.
I'd be delighted with that. If we get 9, we're on easy street.
Oh my God.
Now, mate, let's jump to a very quick half-term report because we're running long, my friend.
I know.
I'm kind of surprised. So let's try and go for quite quick answers.
Okay.
All right. 17 games in. It's not quite a half-term report, but it'll have to do for the purposes of artistic license.
Yeah.
Expectations for the season now. Have they changed from your early predictions?
I would say now, on record, top 4.
Top 4?
Yes.
Really?
I'm going for top 4. I think, why not?
Yeah, man.
Why not? Look, it's such a weird season.
And a cup?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think... I think So we got Arsenal, and then it's
almost certainly going to be Liverpool, isn't it, in the final? You'd assume
we're not going to beat Liverpool in the final. I don't know. I'm not. I don't think we'll win a cup, unfortunately.
Okay.
I do think we can have a good chance of finishing top four. But then I'm like, Forest might finish top 4.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you said that, I mean, like I said, we're a point behind City.
Yeah.
It's such a weird season.
It's crazy, isn't
Liverpool are going to win it, right? Yeah. Probably. Most likely.
I don't know. Chelsea are kind of in that background with all their squad depth.
Yeah,
and,
they've got insane squad depth. I think top 4. Okay. I think we've done it before. It's not silly to think that. I think if we keep our form going, let's see what we do in January. I know I said that last year as well.
That is a question. What are we doing in January? Have we got money to spend? Who are we selling? Who goes from that squad?
Miggy and Trips obviously is the obvious ones. Trips to Saudi.
You think that's happening?
I think if I was Trips, best right back of all time for Newcastle. Yep. Absolute legend. It was the first person to come and get on this journey with us. And I think. Yeah, of course, it's a shame it's fizzled out a bit at the end for him. I think that is a shame. And, obviously he was our captain and, it has fizzled out a little bit. But look, how old is he now? He's, 32, 33.
Yeah.
I mean, to get your paycheck, no one would be upset with him. We'd all say thank you for the memories, God bless.
Fair.
That's how I'd feel
anyway.
I think he's done so much in his career.
Yeah.
He's one of the, if not the best right back, of our.
So you think they're gone? Trips and Miggy.
I think Trips and Miggs will be. I think Miggy. Yeah, I love Miggy, but I just think he's just really struggling to find form and game time.
I wonder if he's not getting game time as a way of showing him it's time to go.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's nothing's been said to us.
I think if we we'll get a decent bit of money for both of them. So let's see. That could fill up. Then I don't really know who else.
Does anyone else go? Does Sean Longstaff go, for example? If someone comes in with a 30 mil bid for Longstaff, do you let him go?
It's a tough one, isn't it? Because we've got cover in those positions, but Longstaff, no one's going to care more. No one's going to care more than Sean. So it's like I would hate to see him go. But if the price is right, then maybe just because we don't need him that much in those positions.
Especially with Lewis Miley coming back.
Exactly. Yeah. So, I don't know who else. I mean, I don't think anyone else is really...
Dubs. It's a big link with Dubravka and Saudi.
Yeah,
I think there's an offer
on.
on.
Backup keeper though.
Yeah.
It depends on. I mean, I know when he went to Man United on that loan, he put out that long post about, and it was. I kind of felt like you're on loan, mate. You'll be back.
If he could turn back time, he would have got rid of that.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I think those are the only players we could really sell. To be honest. Yeah.
Okay. What does success look like now? Then your top 4 is that's you kind of answered that question.
Yeah, top 4.
That's massive.
Europe obviously just generally would be a success, but I do think we should aim for top 4. Why the fuck not?
Too right, man.
Like, why not? We've got some of the best players in the league. Like, why would we not go for top 4? We're massive. And I think sometimes that's why it pissed me off when that guy at the pub said he's too good for Newcastle. Right, we're going to show you.
Yeah.
Right,
we'll show
you. We'll show you. No, he's not too good for Newcastle.
Yeah.
And no player is bigger than the club. The club's massive, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger. So, yeah.
Have that.
Yeah.
What's been your best moment so far this season?
I think that Murphy back heel.
You love that, right?
I think that's assist of the season because he completely knows what he's doing.
It's intentional.
It's intentional. And then even just Isak's little finish as well, the way he just kind of dinked it in.
With a little Meg. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful.
All right, nice.
Yeah.
What's your worst moment so far this season?
Yeah,
we've had a couple of low ones in person. Fulham, Brighton.
Yeah, I would probably say... I'd probably say Fulham when we were there because I think even though it's not like we didn't put effort in, it was just it was a shame because I know Fulham were a good side, but that was definitely a low moment. And then after when we saw Eddie Howe and he gave us the evils, I thought he wanted to kill us, and then it was all fine when we met him and he couldn't even remember who we were. Well, he didn't remember us meeting us. He was like, I literally he just looked past us and he looked into our souls. Yeah, that's probably my lowest moment.
And what about your player of the season so far?
It has to be Isak, really.
Is it?
I think you could give a shout to Murphy. Last few games has been insane. Bruno's always in contention.
Yeah.
Tonali, very recently, but I think just consistently. I mean, Isak
I would say Big Dan Burn's got to have a shout, man.
Big Dan Burn's been
we're
great.
Forgetting the defence. Yeah. Lewis Hall, mate. You said to him earlier this show.
You could be as well.
You said the best.
What I mean, it's like the team is so good.
Yeah.
The team is so good, and the thing with Dan Burn, like I saw it on the Ipswich game the other day. Someone just completely, rinsed him for pace. He got back and recovered and made the tackle. That's the thing with Dan Burn. Positioning, but positioning is really good. And you have to, if you haven't got the pace, as a defender, you need to have good positioning, and he does, and he has great recovery. So yeah, always big up Dan Burn. I mean, I'm happy Botman's coming back, but like I said, it hasn't been a thing where we're like, oh my God, we need Botman back. It hasn't been like that, but it has before in the past.
Yeah.
Where we felt like, wow, we're leaking goals.
Well, it's because Dan Burn is playing centre back now.
Yeah,
you know, he's not a left back.
He's not a left back. Yeah,
that's the difference.
Slow
I think.
left back, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, mate, we've overrun what we were planning to do.
Yeah.
I had 1,000 more questions for you.
I
We'll
know.
just have to save those for another day. General rule, it sounds to me like you're back in your happy place with Newcastle.
I am, yeah, I think. Are you?
Yeah, man.
Optimistic?
It swings and roundabouts. You saw me at the end of the Brentford game. I was really I was perplexed. Like, what is the system we're playing? Why didn't we start Sandro? What's happened to Gordon's form? La, 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 la.
Yeah.
But answers have been delivered, and for right now, right here, I'm really happy with us.
Good.
It's
optimism.
How good does it feel? 3 wins in a week.
Yeah.
I save those. I always save those photographs of the whole team, in the dressing room.
Yeah.
Every time we win.
I love it.
And to be saving 3 of those in a week feels pretty special.
Yeah.
Maybe there's 3 more to come in the next week ahead. I actually love this festive season when games are thick and fast.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it. I wish all football was always. You just can't miss it. It's like during a tournament.
Yeah.
I love the relentless nature of the matches.
The missus hates it, but.
Yeah,
deal with it.
Well, it's fine. It's fine.
She's like, "Why do you need to watch 3 games a day and then you watch Match of the Day as well?" I was like, "You don't get it." I was like, "I'm watching Match of the Day for the analysis."
Yeah, I need to know what they think.
Unless only if we win. I won't watch it if we lose.
Yeah, completely. So look, that's our sort of half-term report. Sorry, it's been a while, but we're delighted to be back with you. We look forward to returning very soon. I hope you're having a wonderful, or just getting through whatever the festive period means to you. So thank you to Asim for your wonderful company today. Thank you for watching, to you guys. And thank you, of course, to our sponsors, brought to you by BetMGM. We've been the Adopted Geordies. We'll be back soon.
The Adopted Geordies. The Adopted Geordies. We got Andy J, we got the Baldy. Together we are the Adopted Geordies. Not from the tomb, but we certainly bleed black and white. In the war, shooters flying every war flag in sight. Got Andy J, and we got the Baldy. Together we are the Adopted Geordies.